All right. And we should be live right there. Okay, theme song's gonna play for a second, so you gotta pop your head or something. Welcome to the dtalks podcast. Welcome to the dtalks pod, where we don't know what the hell is going on. Yeah, welcome to the dtalks podcast. We're here. I'm here. Chris is here. Spoiling who my guest is before we even get started. What's going on, guys? We're back here again with another episode of the dtalks podcast, episode 128. It's been crazy. Been a crazy weekend. We got a really fun show planned for you guys today. I'm running the whole thing by myself today. McKenna couldn't be here, so she's not feeling well. She got a bad headache. So everyone, send her healing energies today. But we've got a fun show planned for you guys today, and I know I got some new people we just met this weekend that subscribe to the channel. So if you guys are watching, what up? How are you? But if you guys are new here and you enjoy music, podcasts, comedy, or hooping videos, do consider subscribing because we got a whole lot of that going on around here. And before I can get into the guest today and start chatting with him, I got to talk to you guys a little bit about car insurance. These days, it seems as if we're able to do more and more from home. So while you're at home, why aren't you saving money on your car insurance? Your hometown agency, Kenosha Auto Insurance, is specialized for years, literally years and years and years, in simple, hassle-free car insurance using the latest in touch-free technology to help you and your family get the best rates. So what are you waiting for? Give them a call today, 262-448-4141. That's 262-448-4141. The website's kenoshains.com. It's linked down below. One last time, it's 262-448-4141. There you go. That's kenoshains.com. Tell them Rita, dtalks sent you. The worst that could happen is you will get the best rates. Now, with all that good stuff out of the way, I'm pumped to introduce you guys to my guest this week. Those who are patrons of the channel, you guys have seen him once over on Patreon on a little podcast we did a couple months back, I think. He's a content creator, a fisherman, an outdoorsman. Let's give a wet dtalks welcome to my guy Chris from Crank TV. How are you, man?
What's up?
You're here, man. I'm excited. I heard you said it was kind of crazy getting out here. You lost your keys or something on the way here, but you made it out here, and I'm really thankful that you're here, dog. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
How you been, man? You've been fishing a lot.
Fishing a lot.
See the content.
Videos, yep.
Yeah, you've
trying
been
to get as much together for people to watch me.
Yeah, is it scary ice fishing this time of year with it being so warm this December?
Yeah, a little bit, but we also take the precautions to what we need. Like we bring a spud bar with, and we have picks to get out. So we have stuff that. Like, even the suit that I wear, it floats, so...
Oh, okay.
Just try to be as cautious as I can.
What kind of suit floats?
It's expensive, but it's a hard water suit, so if you go in the water, it just keeps you up, not for super long, but just enough to get yourself out.
Okay. I remember when I was younger, my dad making me wear the little picks thing around my neck or whatever, as like a necklace thing. And what was the other thing you said? A spud?
A spud bar, so it's what you just test the ice. So basically, you'll just hit the ice. If it goes through one time, you probably shouldn't walk on it, but 2 or 3 hits is usually good enough to walk on.
Fun. That's really cool. And I've got a guy that I produce his own like fisherman outdoorsman podcast, right? And he really loves fishing, hates ice fishing. And I feel like a lot of people have this like animosity towards ice fishing. It's not for everybody. Why do you really enjoy ice fishing?
Yeah, it's fun for me. They got all the equipment for it, so.
What do you love about it? What is it about ice fishing that's so much different than regular fishing? Other than the fact that it's freezing nuts outside and you're just trying to like fight the weather for like half of it.
I mean, it's like being in a boat, but it's like being on land. But the land below you is like water. So I mean, you drop down to them, and I don't know, it's addicting.
I was gonna say that was an interesting way of putting it. It's like you're on land, but you're on a boat, but you're on water.
Yep.
That was very, very literal of you. I like that. It's funny. Yeah, I think with ice fishing, man, it's just tough for a lot of people to get past how cold it is. I think this year, if it's frozen enough, it's probably a great year for someone that doesn't really like ice fishing that much because it's like fucking 45 degrees out today. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's supposed to be the coldest winter this year, is what I hear.
Really?
But not so far.
Holy
It's supposed to be 64 tomorrow.
Damn, when's that winter gonna start? It's probably gonna go into like late April then. That's gonna suck. So when it comes to like fishing and doing fishing content on YouTube, and obviously do other outdoorsman stuff too with hunting and whatnot. Who are like the goats? Who are the guys in that area? Because it's a space in YouTube that I'm not really super familiar with. I know you, and I like to check out your videos when I get the time. But when it comes to to fisherman content and outdoors, who are the guys that like you look up to in the space?
I'd say one big one. He's from Wisconsin. Is Tom Bully. He's a big walleye fisherman, and I got into that this year. So I like to watch his videos. There's a few others. There's a lot of people that do outdoor stuff though. So
really, just this whole sphere of YouTube I don't even know about really.
There's tons of people, new people every day trying to make fishing videos. So
what do you think it takes to set someone like yourself apart and what the stuff you do?
It's hard. You just got to be really creative with your videos. I mean, it's down to an editing aspect. You can catch as many fish as you want, but if you don't actually put together a good video, people won't really watch it. That's
true. That's definitely true. You gotta, the thumbnail and title is big in all of YouTube. Trust me, I understand that. But when it comes to you getting out there and deciding on how often do you fish and not film now that you've started filming, or is it every time you go out you're basically filming?
There's a lot of days that I don't film, but it's more so trying to find places to go so that I can film. So like tomorrow we're gonna drive the 3 hours. We're gonna try to film, but just on a regular day I'll just go out, and if I start catching them I'll throw the camera on and start recording.
Okay. Is that ever tough? Do you ever get something really good and you're like, fuck, I should have been recording? Yeah, because that happens to me a lot with vlogging.
Yep, it's happened. Even probably last week I had one on that I didn't press the button on my GoPro. It wasn't recording. Luckily somebody else was.
Damn.
But it was a nice one too. So
Dad, you don't want to miss that. It's the worst when you're trying to capture everything you can and you want it to be as authentic as possible, and then you miss those golden moments. And so that's what I forget the saying we had when we were there was kind of a group of guys that would work with me, and it was like ABV, always be vlogging, always be recording. But you run out of space on SD cards, you run out of battery life, so you kind of got to pick and choose. What are your tips as somebody who's trying in the space of content on YouTube and trying to showcase what I guess you can do and make entertaining videos for people, but you're also, I've seen you give some tips and stuff in your videos. In the most recent one, you were showing people how to set up the rig you were using. So what are some basic beginner tips for anybody that maybe is interested in fishing or ice fishing specifically, that you think in general, or maybe either some common mistakes you see or things that would just help anybody get a little bit better? Because I feel like there's a lot of stuff about fishing that people don't know that are maybe just interested in it.
I mean, watching videos is a big one, but I mean, really, I don't know, just have fun with it. Try to fish with people. It's all a learning process. When you start, you're not going to know anything with most things, but it's something that's a little harder to pick up on, but just have fun.
Do you ever fish with those guys that don't put the bait on the hook themselves?
Yeah, a few people. Well,
yeah, I'm one of those guys. That's what I knew you wouldn't like that. No, I never really liked it. I don't like getting my hands dirty, if it makes sense. But I mean I do in certain aspects of life. But when it comes to fishing and stuff, I'm always weird about it. I don't know.
Well, I use plastics a lot, so.
Okay, you lures over live bait.
Most of the time, yes, because it's a lot more fun because you really have to work it instead of just throwing a bait out there and letting it float, or like a minnow swimming or something.
Yeah,
you work the bait so you feel everything on the bottom, and
so you take it as it's almost a challenge,
right?
Using the lure as opposed because I feel like there's a spirited debate there in the fisherman community of some people are very passionate, only use live bait, and other people are the opposite where they only use lures and things like that. So what kind of got you to the lure side then? Just the fact that you have to work for it more, or?
Yeah, it's a lot more finessey. It's harder in a sense depending on what you're using, but.
So you like to make it harder for yourself?
Yeah.
You're like one of those guys in Call of Duty. I'm not big. I don't play a lot of Call of Duty, but I would play with friends of mine, and I'd use the most overpowered light machine gun, and they'd be like, "Wow, that's lame. That makes the game too easy. You got to use this." I'm like, man, I want to be better at the game. What am I, make the game harder on myself? But that's what you like with fishing.
Yeah, just
interesting. What's your favorite fish to catch?
Walleye, 100%.
Why?
Because they fight hard.
Okay, so you're in it for the fight.
Yep.
That makes sense if you're using
And
lures.
they're a little bit harder of a fish to catch too, because they're picky with what they eat. Very picky.
And they're big at night, right? At night fishermen. It's interesting with, I guess, fishing in general. I was thinking about this when I was kind of prepping for the show today. I think the thing that fascinates me about fishing is someone who, and I did it a lot more when I was younger because my dad was really into it. He actually like wrote for the paper and stuff for fishing articles and whatnot. I did it a lot more then than I do now. But the thing that I do really love about fishing, and it sort of relates to life, is that like fishing is not really about the fish that you caught. You know, it rarely, you catch the fish, you get a picture of it, like you're really hyped for, you know, however long the fight was, and then getting it up, taking the picture, if it's something that you're eating or whatever, you know, something like that. But after that, it's not it. The best part about fishing is like just the experience of going and the waiting for something to happen and trying to strategize and find a spot. It's the whole journey.
It's
And
like
to me,
taking it all in,
yeah, and to me, it just kind of like, when I was thinking of it like that, I was like, man, fishing is a very great like analogy for life in that sense, where like I feel like a lot of people should try and live their lives. Fuck, if it's not fishing that you love, you can take that from fishing at least and be like, let me, whatever it is that I love doing, let me enjoy the process of it and not get caught up in the whatever the outcome is, you know?
Right.
Which is, I think, is kind of cool. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I really like being out there with just some of the places I go. There's big old hills, 100 feet up in the air,
Yeah.
trees, just sunsets. It's the view of it a lot of the time. Just being out there, it's pretty. Like when we went to Green Bay, we were so far out there that you can't see land from either side.
Jeez.
So it's like being out on the ocean in a sense, but it's cool just experiencing it, because that's somewhere you wouldn't be on a normal day.
Yeah, it's cool, like kind of it almost like when you're, especially probably now, so that you're doing it content wise with it as well. It's probably also like an excuse for you to go do more fun shit, where it's like, man, I got to make a better video, I got to do whatever, like let's go out to Green Bay and let's go try and catch some shit, let's go do some cool shit like that. Do you find yourself like seeking more adventure now that you're, just because, I mean, you're pretty recent in the YouTube game, right? It's been how long since you started?
Not even a year.
Not even a year.
Like
Okay.
It's gonna be a year pretty soon here.
Sweet, dude. That's really well. Congrats on that. It's a lot of people don't make it a whole year of trying, so that's cool to see. And I'm happy for you as someone as, you know, finding your channel. We've known each other now for a little bit, so it's exciting to see. What do you hope to do with Crank TV?
Really just build up the audience behind it and be able to show people fishing's actually, you know, fun or different, and just give it a try. I want people to see it how I see it. I mean, sometimes throwing tips to help around or tell people how to do stuff, but really just wanted people to see it how I see it or experience it the way I experience it.
Yeah, so you're using you like strap the GoPro to your chest and everything, right? That's pretty cool shit, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Strap it to your chest, and then I got the big camera now, so I'm gonna start setting that up a little bit further
there you
outside
go.
of myself. So
You can get a drone soon here and be doing some crazy shit. I see you, Crank TV. That's cool, man. We got some people in the comments. We got Stealthy519 Gaming says yo, and Simple Man Fishing. It's not a bad day whenever you're on the water. That's true. That's a good point. You know, what's like who's the worst kind of person that you could go fishing with? Worst fishing buddy or partner? If you were ever going on the boat, like, you don't have to say a name, you know, obviously, but like describe to me the kind of person that's the worst person to take fishing. And I'm going to post this up on Snapchat for us too.
Like, I would say somebody that goes there, fishes for like 5-10 minutes, gets mad about it, and then quits it, or somebody that sits there and they just play on their phone the whole time. That stuff bothers me. It's just, we're out here to experience like the
land,
just everything,
the water, the nature, man. We're here. We're trying to live in the moment, you know? No, I feel that. I think I feel like if you're an impatient person, fishing probably isn't for you.
Not really, no.
But I think fishing could also teach people patience, and maybe more people should try and go fishing every once in a while to try and learn a thing or two about patience.
Because it can be a weight sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
but it's worth it a lot of times.
Night fishing is pretty bad. Sometimes you'll go hours without it, but it's so calm at nighttime. I love it.
What is it like? What's like the strategy different, other than obviously it's fucking dark out? What is like the big difference between like fishing during the day or fishing at night?
I don't just walleye specifically bite at nighttime. I mean, they'll bite in the day too, but I don't know. A lot of fish bite at night. It's just weird. I don't know if they just get all the water cools down from being hot and they just get activated and start biting everything, or
they're looking for a midnight snack. That's what they're looking for. That makes sense, man. It's so you've been really into walleye recently. Do you eat walleye?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you a catch and release guy, or are you a catch and you clean them yourself?
I do release a lot of fish. Like
Mhm.
I'll keep fish every once in a while. I don't want to keep way too many. I mean, that's just overkill, but just enough to where I could have a meal or two, and then I'll wait for a while. But I release bigger ones. I always release bigger fish.
Yeah.
Like I have a slot size that I usually keep, like not too small, not too big, just in between.
What's that look like for, like, let's say like the average bluegill? Where are you? Where are you throwing back? Where are you leaving it?
If it's over like 10 and a half, I'll probably put it back. But anything from 7.5 to 10 and a half, really.
Okay. So what's like do you have like a least favorite fish that, like, because the thing is, I'm sure as like a fisherman, there's probably like certain fish that, like, when you're out there looking, you're trying to get a specific, maybe you're going out, you got the right lure for this kind of fish, whatever it is. You're really after one specific, like, species of fish, and maybe you keep getting hit by something else, and you're like, dude, could you just stop fucking taking my bait, bro? Could you just stop hitting my lure and wasting my time?
There's a couple. Like bullheads, they have spikes, so when you catch them and go to grab them, they stab you.
Those are like those catfish, almost.
They're really yellow.
Those are.
Those, and when I'm walleye fishing on the Mississippi, especially drums, but they're huge. They're like a 1.5 feet long. They're huge.
Oh shit.
So you think you got a big old walleye on, and you're getting all excited, and then you feel it, and you're like, oh, this ain't.
Damn, yeah. You ever go like bow fishing or anything?
No,
like
but
that?
I want to. It's definitely in the works.
Done it once, and it was fucking crazy, dude.
I watch people do it with carp and stuff, though.
That's what I did it with. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Insane. I haven't done it in years since, but it was cool. What's like? Have you ever seen the show River Monsters? Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah.
That guy to me was like, I loved that show, bro. I watched the shit out of that when I was younger. Who's like in media? If there's like, other than YouTube, maybe somebody that like you've maybe watched that like always gets you hyped and excited to go fishing.
I don't even know. It's really just been YouTube where I watch everything. I don't watch too many fishing shows or documentaries or anything.
That makes sense. You know what? A lot of fish. I will say that's the other thing about fishing content, and especially like fishing simulators and like games like that. Anytime I like would ask my dad, I'd be like, Dad, because my dad, he loves fishing, and so I'd be like, Dad, why don't we get this game? Like, you love fishing. He's like, if I have time to play this fucking game and pretend I'm fishing, I would rather just be fucking fishing.
Right.
Which makes way more sense to me. I'm like, yeah, it's probably got to be tough for them to market, like, yeah, sit down and watch this 2-hour documentary about people fishing instead of just going and doing it, you know?
I guess those games are more for people that don't ice fish in the winter, you know?
Yeah, that
makes
sense.
Take that break and just, I guess, play video games.
That's fair, I guess. You know, the thing I like about your video specifically, and about like the little bit that I've been trying to get into, especially in doing research for today, in looking at some of these other channels that do fishing content, the thing that I think is pretty fascinating about it is it takes the fishing stories like away, like they're not there, you know, where guys will be like, yo, bro, at the bar, I caught one. It was this. I got this crappie, bro. It was fucking 26 inches. They'll hit you. You're like, no, you fucking didn't, bro.
But it didn't happen.
Exactly. But the great thing about the video format is it's like, it's no bullshit. This is exactly like, this is how I caught it. You saw it come out of the ice, or you saw it come into the boat, whatever it is, and you're seeing me hold it up like in real time. You know, there isn't any smoke and mirrors or you know, being like, oh, he said, she said, of like, this is how big it was.
Yeah, and that's the thing with pictures too, is I don't know, it's all in how you take a picture too, because you take a picture from far away, it looks a lot smaller, but if you get it like right up in the camera just perfectly, you think it's like a
you fishermen, you fishermen and IG thoughts got a lot in common, bro. You guys both know your angles. Y'all both like girls be sticking it out just the right way. Same with bodybuilder dudes be doing their tricep a certain way. You guys the same way with that fish. You put it all the way up in the camera,
Yep.
put your face back.
Try to hide your fingers and everything.
Yeah, put them back as far away so there's no reference point, nothing. It's just like, holy shit, that thing is huge.
Right.
That's the way you do it. That's what everybody
And
does.
That's how
though.
you get them fire thumbnails.
That's the thumbnail or secret right there for YouTube fishermen. What do we got here in the comments? Caden is the best, right, Chris? That's what.
Oh man,
Who's Caden?
that's one of my buddies that I fish with, hunt with.
Okay, is he in any of the videos? What we've seen
Yeah,
him?
he's in one of my catfish videos actually.
Oh, okay.
He caught most of the fish on that video.
Oh, okay.
I didn't catch a single fish that day.
You guys ever do like challenge kind of stuff in your videos of like trying to who can catch more fish, who can anything like that?
We did do a tournament in the spring,
Yeah.
like weight wise, but we got the video and everything got so spread up that I just made it into just a regular video. But
Yeah.
we were out there. It was me, my buddy Alec, Diehard Angling, and then one of my buddies, Quantrell. We were all out there trying to catch as many bass as we could by weight, and we were going for like the whole day. I ended up having to leave, but
Damn.
man, I came in second place.
Second. That's why you cut it from the video, bro. That's why you cut it from the video. I see you. I see you.
Well, no, he won because he caught the most, but they were all like little ones. But he caught like 40 of them.
So he was cheating, bro.
I only caught like three or four 2-3 pounders. So
Dude, how does it work with fishing tournaments? Like, cause my dad would do fishing tournaments when I was younger, and he would win some, and some they would come in like second or third, and I never really understood like how they work usually.
some of them depend on like weight and size. Like most of them are length. Like I know there's the bigger ones. You take like every hour you'll take in a fish, and they'll do like a check, and then there'll be prizes or something for that hour. It really depends with the tournament.
Okay.
But a lot is like length and
So who can catch the biggest fish,
Right.
basically? Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've always been curious about that. Do you look at fishing as something that's competitive, or are you just
in a sense, yeah. But I really just like to get out and
makes sense?
how I relax.
What is it about fishing as opposed to other things that you could do for like leisure or fun that really
I can just
draws you to it?
I can just go out by myself and just do my own thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird when like I know I was out on the ice for my first ice fishing video, and there's other people out there, but they're like watching you,
Yeah.
and it's weird because you feel like they're looking at you like, oh, he's gonna tell everybody this spot, and
Oh yeah.
so
there is a weirdness then when people see you filming.
yeah.
I could see that in like the potentially like the outdoorsman kind of I feel like a lot of those guys aren't into that sort of thing.
They want to keep their spot secret. Everybody's got their secret fishing spot, but there's a million secret fishing spots.
I was gonna say, is there really like I feel like every fishing guy that I've ever known is always like, man, I know the spot on this lake. I know where it is.
Yeah.
Every guy I talk to about the same fucking lake will tell me a different spot. So
They're everywhere.
yeah, if fish are they're going around.
I know I have an app on my phone that I mark out every spot that I catch a fish on a lake.
Oh,
so
okay.
then I know like if there's one shoreline that's really like, but it's just whether they're there or not. They move all throughout the lake.
And if they're
so-
hitting too, that's
right,
big.
if they're biting, it's a whole bunch of factors into it.
What was like the biggest, or what has been like a really big, like aha moment for you, an epiphany moment when it comes to fishing down the lake, where maybe you figured out something about a specific kind of fish or a specific kind of reel or rod, anything, where you're like, this is how I'm supposed to do this shit. This is what I like. This is my secret that I just figured out. Anything like that ever?
How I fish for walleyes in the Mississippi.
How's that?
I mean, you got to try to. There's so much current and stuff ripping by the dams that you have to pick out. There's like seams where there's two currents. They come together, like they kind of come together like this.
Yeah.
And you want to throw it like right in there, because then your bait will drop right to the bottom. If you throw it too far, it gets sucked into the current.
It'll start moving.
It'll move away or it'll move in. So if you can hit that seam and float it right and just tap it off the bottom, usually you'll feel them just slam it.
Wow. Okay.
It was something that I learned. I was like, I didn't know the water when it came together in two currents creates like a dead zone. But
Yeah, that's interesting. That's in the Mississippi.
yep.
Holy cow! How do you fish on the Mississippi? I'm not very familiar with that. Are there spots that are like, because I guess how I and maybe more other people that are ignorant, I don't like. The Mississippi sounds huge to me. I mean, it is huge, right?
It is huge. It is very
super
huge.
wide. Like you're like,
Yeah.
are there spots where like you can just drop a boat in and just chill? And how does that work?
Yeah, there's Oh, there's tons of places. There's little backwaters that are a foot deep. There's big mile wide parts, dams everywhere. It's huge. Like, there's a lot of fish in there.
I'd imagine
it's hit or miss whether they're biting, but they're always in there. It's hard to not catch fish when you go there.
Are there any? Is it? You ever get nervous fishing out on the Mississippi with like it just being such a big, or even like you were saying when you were in Green Bay and you're out, so far away where it's
Green Bay. Yeah, Mississippi's not too bad from shore. I mean, even when we were on boat, it's
you gonna swim against that current though?
I can't swim at all. So
you can't swim at all.
No,
You're a fisherman.
Crazy. I'm a fisherman and I can't. I can swim, I guess, but I can't tread water. So I can't float.
You can't tread water,
but I can swim. So I mean.
Okay, I have trouble floating, but I can tread water and I can like swim.
Well, no,
I'm shitty at swimming water. But
no, I can't float. Like I can't keep myself up, but if I need to swim, I can like swim out.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, so you can swim, kind of. You can survive if something were to happen.
Well, maybe.
Maybe. Well, let's hope so.
Out.
You got life jackets on the boat, then I imagine.
Usually, yeah, they're like inflatable ones. So as soon as it feels you at the water, they blow up like a raft, basically. But it's just a life jacket.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. So have you ever fished on the ocean at all, then, or no?
No, I want to. There's some big fish in there, man.
It's on a bucket list, I'm sure.
Eventually.
When it comes to like the outdoorsman target audience and I guess guys that are really into that field, there's a lot of products, everything. I mean, we live in a capitalist society, everyone wants to sell you something, and I feel like that demographic of people definitely have money to spend, and there are a lot of, I feel like, products that are useless and are sort of almost scams in that field. Are there anything that you're like, I won't buy that, as someone who is someone who fishes a lot or hunting and stuff, like something that you think is just kind of pointless?
I mean, with like Walmart brands and stuff for fishing gear, like a lot of it I used to buy like because the price was there and okay, I can go fishing, but I bought one expensive rod and reel and it's like, yeah, I can't buy that stuff anymore. So breaks so easy and
I feel like so it's like the littler stuff you could probably still get it. Well, maybe like even some lures and stuff like that.
Lures
jigs.
And hooks and stuff like that, but like equipment wise, besides like bags and stuff, it is kind of a fraud in a sense because they make that stuff super cheap.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's almost like I always tell guys when it obviously very different, but when it comes to like fashion and stuff like that, where like if you're trying to build a wardrobe, you're like, man, I'm trying to like look a little nicer, spend the good money on a couple nice pairs of jeans and then a nice black t-shirt, white t-shirt, whatever, and then you can get little cheaper other pieces and stuff like that. And I feel like it's the same thing too with like, you don't want to mess around with your rod, you don't want your rod to be this cheap whatever, but when it comes to like maybe the little accessories and stuff, you could probably get something.
Yeah, get away with it because
not quite as important,
right?
For someone like yourself, and doing fishing, and you said you got some buddies that help out and come out there with you too. I know you did the first ever episode of your Crankcast, which is like a podcast geared toward kind of taking your content into a podcast form. It's focusing on the same kind of things. What was like the inspiration for that? What made you want to get into that?
Honestly, when we did that Patreon, I was like, I could really do this for some outdoor stuff, just more talking to the people and actually like, just not always going out and, I can catch this many fish and do this. Well, I could be at home talking about it, showing you what I'm using, taking the time to actually kind of like explain it out and stuff like that. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. You ever think about maybe breaking down footage of like, as you maybe having like the video of you out in the field or out in the water catching it and breaking that down on your podcast?
I want to eventually. I just don't have the equipment for it right now. Like my computer went out, so
yeah, that's gotta be tough.
I've been putting everything together on iPhone. Which is crazy.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Well, props to you for sticking through with it, man. That's tough. Are there fish that you're scared of, man? Is there any fish that make you nervous? No,
just like walleye and northern got teeth, so try to be careful. Like I got bit the other day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was looking in its mouth and I was like, I think I can grab this hook. Well, my finger slipped here and he just chomped.
He said, nah, you're not getting this
and
hook.
Then he ripped it, so I was just leaking. You can see it in the video. It was bad.
Yeah, that's tough.
It hurt.
What because dude, for me, I wouldn't say I'm like scared of like any. I mean, no, I'm fucking scared of certain fish, bro. Like there's just like, I guess I have whatever that fear is. I know that it's like it's some phobia of not knowing what's in the water. You
Yes.
know, like it's like I'm not like, I know a fish is probably more scared of me than I'm scared of them. You know, but if I don't know what's under there and I'm just like it freaks me out a little bit.
I mean, nothing in any lakes around here would probably really do anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the ocean, on the other hand,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, I was gonna pull this up for us today. We've got the largest, no, not the largest. The biggest fish, freshwater fish ever caught. Actually, I wanted to show you this and get kind of your thoughts on this if you're open to it.
Is that a catfish?
It is.
Oh,
Here, let
man.
me pull this up right here. We're gonna be over yonder, and you guys should be able to see that right now. Let me make sure that we're there. Tried to teach him how to swim. We got people in the chat saying they've tried to teach you how to swim. Alyssa says that. And we got Diehard Anglin says, yo, what's up? Good to see you, dog. Me and Chris are getting some jumbos tomorrow. Stay tuned, boys. So where you said before, where are you guys going? Mississippi?
Yep.
Oh,
We're gonna
okay.
leave at like 3 a.m.
Very cool. That'll be fun. What are you looking to catch tomorrow?
Big old perch. They're really pretty.
Perch?
They're like yellowish. They're goldish, orangish yellow. It's like they're a really gorgeous fish, but they're fun to catch.
Do you ever eat perch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're pretty good. Yeah, they taste pretty good. So I wanted to kind of have you react to this, get your thoughts on this. I was looking this up ahead of time. We have here a giant catfish, maybe the world's largest freshwater fish. Now this is off of National Geographic's website, so credit to them, and obviously I'm citing them right now. But these fishers in northern Thailand netted this huge catfish in the Mekong River on May 1st, nearly 2.7 meters long, which is about 9 feet. Look at this fucking guy. And it apparently was in fresh water. What are you doing if you catch something this fucking big?
I don't know about around
Would
here,
you would you ever go somewhere and do like net fishing like that? And would you ever try that?
I don't know about net fishing, but I mean fishing for them with rods that'd probably be super fun.
Could you even catch something that fucking big with a rod?
It'd be like Jeremy Wade.
I guess it would be. Yeah, dude. He's done some crazy shit.
Almost flying off the boat, holding the rod.
Yeah, dude. It was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. He did that episode with the piranhas. That scared the fuck out of me, dude.
Dude,
Like,
piranhas.
Piranhas are some scary motherfuckers, like straight up. But I'm curious. Is there anywhere in the world, obviously other than the ocean, that like you'd really like to go maybe try fishing?
Canada, for sure.
Canada? You haven't been?
Nope.
Okay.
I want to go somewhere up there. There's.
It's like cheating, I've heard,
Super
for
big
fishermen.
fisheries,
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
you're there and you catch giant fucking stuff all the time.
Yep. So the same stuff you'd catch here, just probably 4 times that
Bigger.
size.
Why do you think that is?
Bigger bodies of water, but I don't know. It's hard to say.
That's fair. Here, let me grab this. I was curious. Would you mind breaking down for those that maybe people that are tuning in now and don't know? Obviously, I introduced you at the beginning. You got your own channel, Crank TV. Can you break down for people that are new and just now hearing about you or seeing you here on the dtalks podcast what you're all about and what Crank TV it kind of represents and what your goals are with it and everything like that?
So my real goal for Crank TV is to just build that following, and once I get that following behind it, try to get financially enough to where I want to open a bait shop actually. So I just want to kind of take the whole Crank TV thing, get the following behind it, and open a bait shop so then people can actually come in and buy baits and talk to me. And
do you have what? So that's interesting because you did mention earlier that you're a lures over live bait guy. Would you focus on lures and stuff like that and plastic as opposed to live bait then in your store, you think?
I mean, everybody carries live bait just for that occasion, but
Yeah.
I mean, a thing that me and actually Diehard Angling are working on right now is painting baits. So once we get the little sprayer for it, we want to start painting our own baits. That way we can use them in videos and then eventually make packaging. And
Okay. What's the pros of doing that? painting your own.
It's a lot cheaper. Like you will go to a store for a certain price.
Yeah.
I mean, for one bait, when you can buy these in bulk and paint them yourself, it's just a really big process.
Oh, okay. What's like the science then, I guess, behind, or like, because I'm sure different fish are attracted to different things. Because I mean, I guess I just assume that. I don't know if that's the case or not. Or are you just trying to stick with like, what's the shiniest and what's gonna, float on the water a certain way?
A lot of natural colors, a lot of, I don't know, fish go off of vibration, and like baits have rattles in them and stuff like that. It's the sound, the motion, the vibrations that set them off to where they hit it.
So it's not so much what it necessarily looks like as.
Depending, sometimes they see it and they know like that ain't real. I'm not gonna eat that.
Yeah.
Some fish are really picky, but
Interesting. That is really interesting. That reminded me actually of, there was I'll switch over to it right now. There's this, I remember this lure that was shaped like a piece of shit, actually. I wonder if you'd ever seen this. I remember it came out like quite a few years ago, and people were trying to sell this. Let me pull this up here for us. All right, let me save that. There we go. And we'll open it up. Yeah, this shit is pretty funny if we can get that to open up for us.
it might work.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Here, I'll pull it over here so they'll be able to see it. We'll switch to this guy. Let me just go like that. So, yeah, it's this guy right here. We've got a novelty, creative, and funny shit lure. Would you ever use something like this?
Maybe for a video.
What do you think you could catch with that?
Anything.
It's a big fucking lure.
It is, and it's a turd.
Yeah, I mean, it's a giant turd. What are you going to be able to catch with that, you think? If anything.
Whatever wants to bite it. I mean, I know some people in the winter will use hot dogs, like on tip-ups, like set up just like that.
Really? So
Just
maybe that's where the... Wow. There you go.
Work.
That could be it right there.
I know there is a guy on YouTube that like makes all sorts of random baits, like, and then
Yeah.
he'll go out and he'll actually use them.
Oh, okay. That's got to be kind of fun.
He makes some weird ones.
What's the weirdest one you've seen?
Like one time he used a block of wood, just a simple block of wood. Like
You catch shit with it?
Yeah, like it looked like a Jenga block, and he caught a nice bass on it. I was like,
What is he doing? Just shaking it the right
just
way?
reeling it in. That's it. Fish just seen it and was like, oh hey, block of wood.
That's
Smash.
interesting. I've done that before. Like I've like just spit off of a pier and then seen like the little bluegill like come up there.
Yeah.
But what do you have to say about people that hate the outdoors, that don't like hunting, don't like fishing, are against, maybe think it's immoral in the sense that you potentially hurting animals?
I mean, I kind of see it like fishing and hunting and everything has been around for forever. I mean, that's just what the world is. I mean, there's conservations and laws set in place so that stuff like that won't happen, like over hunting or overkill. But like a lot of people don't realize that, like even with lakes and stuff, sometimes the DNR stocks them. Like they'll put in like thousands of fish. The people on the lakes will pay money sometimes. Or
how do they do that too, by the way? How do they go about? Is that like, are they like, where are they getting these fish from?
So they like
test tube fish?
Take some of them and they'll take eggs from one and then take sperm from another. They'll mix it, but they'll like make them on farms.
Oh, okay.
And then they'll bring them into the lakes and drop them in. Well, they're big enough to where they can reproduce. So
yeah,
really, it's with money with it all. But I mean,
so you'd argue that there's some good, a lot of good actually in fishing and taking some of these fish and cleaning them and eating them and stuff like that.
Right. And they're healthy too. I mean, it's the most natural thing you're probably gonna eat compared to like a hamburger from the store.
I prefer eating fish when it like over pretty much any meat, I think.
Like I won't eat store-bought fish. I don't like it.
Really?
I used to when I was younger, but I tasted walleye and bigger fish and natural stuff, and it's just way different. It's more cleaner.
Are you a sushi guy? Do you like sushi at all?
I don't mind it. It's good.
That's raw.
It's weird.
I'm not really big into sushi myself,
It's
but
the texture.
yeah, it is, and it wasn't for me, I guess. We got who is this? Jukatai?
Oh, that's
Jukatai?
my little brother.
Says my brother taught me everything I know about fishing. So shout out to you, man.
Oh yeah.
What did you teach him?
I took him out ice fishing last year, and so it's a thing called a Vexlar. It's like a sonar, basically.
That's what it was in the last video, right?
So you drop it in there, and it shows where the bottom's at, and it reads to where if a fish comes up, they come up red on the screen. Well, I showed him how to do it once, and then after that, he was running around by himself. Just
at what point? So that sounds to me like so you can know exactly when a fish is right under your hole, basically, right?
Basically.
Is there ever like at what point would fishing technology ever get too good where you'd be like, this wouldn't be fun anymore?
I mean, it kind of already is. I mean, they got stuff that reads 360, like around you. I have an underwater camera. I drop it down there, and I can see my bait. So
yeah,
you'll see fish suck it in that you wouldn't even feel bite it.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's another one. You didn't even know they bit it because you didn't feel it, or you see it on the screen like, oh, it's in his mouth.
Yeah. Is it still as fun that way? Or?
It is if there's a lot of them. If there's like 100 fish down there coming through every like 30 seconds, yeah, it's fun because it's left and right. You're catching fish.
Do you so you don't think that it's at all like takes sort of the because I feel like a lot of the fun in fishing is not knowing, like what are we gonna get anything today, and again like that whole strategizing and like what can we do to be the best, but then like it gets to a certain point where it's like playing with cheat codes on, like you turn the game sliders up, now you can't miss threes. It's like, damn, we're gonna catch one every time we put it down there.
It's like that, but some days it's slow. Like a lot of the times if I don't drop a video for a month, it's just because I haven't caught nothing. Like
really.
It's a grind. Like sometimes you just have to keep going. Like I'll work my 3 days or 3 12-hour days, and then I'll get off and I'll get up early the next day and I'll go just to see if I can catch something. Or
that's fair. What's a bad day of fishing look like for you?
When I don't catch at least one fish.
That's a bad day.
That's a bad day.
That's a bad day. What's for? I guess when you're like when you're out fishing, whether it's on the boat or actually I'll ask you that. Do you prefer being if it's a beautiful day outside? Would you prefer to be out on the boat or be like fishing from a pier? Because I know some people don't really like getting on a boat. You'd rather be on the boat. What kind of boat you use?
I don't have a boat, but Die Hard Angling does. We use this tracker boat. It's like a 16-foot deep V.
Oh, okay.
Take it everywhere.
There you go. That's nice.
It's just nice to get away from people, get away from land for a while.
Yeah. What's the longest you ever been on the lake?
I think we did pull a whole day.
24 hours?
Yeah, but we slept. Like on the Mississippi, the last trip, I still got a half a video to put out. We were there for 2 days, and I slept for 5 hours in those 2 days.
Did you sleep on the water?
I slept actually like on the little rocks, but then the second night we rented out the bunks and we slept on a bunk bed on a float. But
oh, okay. You ever been on one of those big like river houses, those like boat houses?
No, but I want to. It looks fun.
That would be pretty cool. I've seen like some sick Airbnbs that like
floating and walk out in the morning. Hey, water.
Yeah, just interesting. I mean, I don't think I would want to live in one, but it's a cool little fun thing to go do. I guess what is like something that really bothers you about either what you're doing specifically with YouTube and fishing and hunting and stuff, or just in general when it comes to like fishing and hunting, whether it's like something that bugs you, if it's something in the community, something with actually doing it, or what's something that kind of pisses you off a little bit.
A big thing in the summertime is college kids on boats. They will rip past you doing 60 and almost flip you and not care.
They're just getting lit and they got the tube behind them.
Like,
and
one night we were out there and somebody almost ran right into us because they were speeding really fast. Well, you have lights and everything, but when you're going that fast, you can't see that well. So
and that's at night.
Yeah,
right?
that was scary.
Yeah, that's kind of terrifying. Is there ever? I feel like at night there's probably what are like the different rules for fishing at night then, because like you got to have like certain lights on the boat and stuff, right?
That's pretty much it. Just the lights on a boat. Everything else goes.
And you're allowed to be out there as long as you want, right?
Yeah, you can
any
fish
time
all
of day.
But it is by seasons with fish too. Like there's certain seasons you can't fish them, but most of the time you can fish anything.
Really? What's a fish that has like limits on it?
As in
where is like can you not catch bluegill a certain time of year?
No, you can catch bluegills all year round. But like walleye and bass and stuff like that in northern, they have like span like a 4 or 5 month span where you can't catch them so they can reproduce and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
I didn't know that.
So then you just got a bluegill or.
So what if you
perch
did
fish.
catch them? What do you do?
Just gotta
let it
release
go.
'em.
There's no
Yeah.
choice. Do people eat like northerns and
Oh
shit
yeah,
like that?
they're good.
Are they
They
good?
just got bones in them. A
Oh,
lot of
man.
bones, Y bones.
Damn, fuck that, dude. You clean them yourself?
Yeah, there's ways to do it to where the bones won't be in there, but they're a
Mm.
big fish and they got a lot of bones, so it's hard to kind
You
of.
just be eating the bones.
Nope.
No,
No, I don't eat
you're
northern a lot.
not dirty like that. You're not doing it like that.
No, I like to eat bluegill a lot. It's just they're smaller and easier to clean.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense, man. We're getting close to the hour mark, man. I'm curious. Do you got anything else that you want to get off your chest today that we're talking about? We talked a lot about a lot of things. I want to make sure you get to speak your mind.
Man, just keep getting people in tune with it. I mean, we're growing right now. We're pushing to 100. I'm trying to once I hit 100 subs, I'm gonna be doing some kind of giveaway, like on a rod or something to give back for all the support that I get.
Yeah.
A lot of ice fishing videos coming this winter. You'll see them.
Okay.
Hopefully, I get a computer in the next month or so even better video quality. But
that'll be cool, man. And so people could check you out at Crank TV.
Crank TV
on just YouTube right now.
That's on Facebook, Instagram.
Okay.
YouTube. What else? I think that's it.
That's it right now. You ever think about live streaming a fishing adventure?
Actually, funny you talk about it. I was actually on the Mississippi, and I did throw my live on. And I just remember somebody was on there saying I wasn't going to catch a fish, and I hooked into one like 30 seconds after, and I was talking mad stuff to the camera.
Oh, you should have been, as you should have been, as you should be. Good luck to you with all the ice fishing endeavors and everything, man. Be safe, bro, on the ice since it's so fucking warm right now. It's kind of scary right now. Hopefully as things progress, but I also selfishly I don't want the winter to last forever. So
no, spring's the best time for fishing anyway. So
yeah, we're gonna have to go bow fishing or something this spring,
or we can go ice fishing.
No, I'll go bow fishing.
Not now, but maybe next month.
Maybe next month once it's a little safer. You got any questions for me before we end up wrapping here?
No, not really.
All right, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming out here, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. I was excited for my audience to get introduced to you, and you've always been a kind guy whenever we've talked. And yeah, man, I just wish you success with everything that's going on. And maybe, who knows, maybe I'll pop out on a Crank TV video and we'll get some fishing. You got to put the bait on the line for me, though. I'm not going to do it myself, bro. I'm not fucking with it. Unless maybe if I'm using a lure, I guess it's different. But no, man, I appreciate you being here for real. I also want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in live today. Really appreciate all you guys. And like I said earlier at the beginning of this video, if you're new here and you enjoy music, podcasts, comedy, hooping videos, anything like that, consider subscribing. We got a whole lot of that going on around here. And we do podcasts like this every Monday with new and interesting people. But I also want to say a quick thank you to our patrons for supporting the channel. It should be up on the screen right now. If you're interested in getting access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content, other exclusive videos that I post that have nothing to do with like the main channel stuff, where it's just kind of me breaking down how I make every single one of my songs. We've also got a series where we have two other podcasts on there when we post a lot of cut basketball footage that doesn't make the actual vlogs, all over there, and you can join for as little as $1. So if you're interested, go to patreon.com/Darren Rita. Really helps support the channel, so shout out to all those guys. Shout out to Kenosha Auto Insurance again for sponsoring this episode. And I just want to say, I know we got a lot of people in the chat right now. Make sure you guys go check out Chris's channel, Crank TV. We'll be doing some fun stuff here in the future. But with that being said, guys, this has been the 128th episode of the dtalks podcast. I'm your host, Darren Rita, and I'll see you guys next